first ever YouTube video on this channel, where we are going to break this into a full draft, 3 parts: lottery, rest of the first round, and the whole second round. 3 separate videos. We're going to do a random lottery right here to determine everything. So here we go. One take for each of these videos. New York Knicks get the first pick. Golden State Warriors get the second. Chicago gets the third. Cleveland the fourth. Minnesota the fifth. Atlanta the sixth. The Pistons get the seventh. Hornets eighth. Wizards, Suns, Spurs, Kings, Pelicans, Blazers round up the lottery. You guys should know the other teams. Those guys didn't change. Let's hop straight into this. The first pick, the Knicks. I think point guard's their biggest need. And the top player on my big board is a point guard. That's why I gotta give him my man. Oh, he's not even on here. My man, Killian Hayes. I'll throw my big board at the end of that second video, but it's still incomplete at this moment. I've just got the top 17 players or so. But Killian Hayes, he can create. He's a shot creator. He's great with his left hand. He's one of the best passers in this class. But he's not ambidextrous. He's very handicapped with his left hand. He doesn't touch his right at all. He's from France. Actually, he plays in Germany. I don't know where I got France from. Plays in Germany. Was born in Florida. Not a foreign-born player. I like him, though. I think he can play the one or the two. I like him with the one, though, because his playmaking, his passing vision. He needs to work on his decision-making, but he has all the tools to get everywhere. He doesn't have an explosive burst, per se. He has good moves. I like him a lot. Golden State. I think in a lot of drafts, I haven't taken my boy, Onyeka Okongwu. I think if they get number 2, I kind of like the fit of LaMelo Ball here. I think he gives you another playmaker. He extends your window. I don't know if there's anyone in this class who puts you immediately over the top. Maybe for them, the player who adds the most to them in the first season is Okongwu. But LaMelo, he extends your future. Steph Curry can teach him some stuff. He can pick up all that. I think he can play immediately. I just don't think he's going to be as big of an impact player as others can be. But I like the pick here. He's number 3 on my big board. Number 2 at the point guard spot. At number 3, Chicago is hitting themselves because point guard and small forward are their 2 needs. It's interesting who they can take here. I have Avdija, however you say that name, this guy right here. He's my top small forward. I like his playmaking abilities. There's a lot of great playmakers in this class. He's also 6'9". He can play either of the wing spots. And there's Tyrese Halliburton, who's my next point guard on the board. But he's actually 5th overall. He's 6th overall on my big board. And if you want to take the best player available, that's James Wiseman. I don't think you can take James Wiseman because I think you have a lot invested in Markkanen and Carter. So I think you got to stick. You can take Edwards, but the problem is him and Levine, they're both going to be inefficient scorers at this level, and I just don't like that fit. I think he can be a good defender. He can probably be a better defender than Chris Dunn is. I say no. I say take my man, Tyrese Halliburton. He's a good point guard. He's a good shooter. He has a good defending potential. He's a good playmaker. He looks very similar to Chris Dunn coming out of college, but he's younger, and I think he's a better playmaker, and I like the fit there. It's not the best fit because Chicago would have wanted one of the guys ahead, or it'd be a better fit if they could just take my boy Denis Avdija because you don't have to question it, but you do have to question here, and I hope you think Tyrese is the best pick because I think that's what they would make in that situation. Cleveland at 4, it's pretty interesting because you can take Edwards or Wiseman. I think Wiseman is the best potential of anyone in this draft. Could be a superstar player. I think Edwards has a higher floor coming in. Both of these guys are sort of ball dominant. I mean, obviously Wiseman's a center, so he's not as ball dominant as, say, Edwards would be. But I do like Wiseman a lot. He's number 2 on my board, number 1 for the center. Edwards is number 5, number 1 for the shooting guard. But I'm going to take Wiseman here. Even though they do need a shooting guard, I think Wiseman, because both, even if they keep Drummond, this big man core is old. Take Wiseman. And at number 5, they just traded Andrew Wiggins for D'Angelo Russell. I like this 1-2-3 punch because you're coming out with Russell, you got Beasley, you got Edwards. That's two great mid-range scorers, one great, well, good three-point shooter, and you're not even talking about your best player yet, Karl Anthony Towns. He has good defensive potential. I think if you make him a third option, he's going to be more efficient than what we saw in college, where it was the Anthony Edwards show at Georgia. So I like this pick here for him. I think he'll become a good player next to those guys. This is a good fit. I've seen a lot of people reject it. My man with the hard name, Avdija. I like his fit here in Atlanta. He's probably better than what they want her to be, except he's not a good shooter, and that's against what you're thinking because they've been trying to copy this Golden State thing, but he's not that outside shooter for you. He's just not. That's when you draft him, don't expect that. He's a good passer. He's a great passer in the wing. Put that next to Trae Young. That's something. He's also 6'9". He's not an athlete or anything, but he has the potential to be a really good defender for you. He's got some good inside scoring. He's a good playmaker. I say go ahead and take him here, and I like the pick. I like all the picks. I'll say that a lot. With the 7th pick, Detroit. There's a couple different directions they can go here. I don't think there's a clear, obvious pick. I'm doing this all in one cut, one take. So we'll see. Cole Anthony, he's an interesting prospect. Probably has one of the higher ceilings of anyone available right now, but he has a pretty low floor. I mean, he's gonna be a bench scorer no matter what. As long as he can be healthy, he can come off the bench and give you points. If he can be a starter, I can see maybe a Kyrie Irving, discount Kyrie. He might be the next Kyrie. I think they have a very similar skill set. He's a good scoring lead guard. He can pass. He's not a passer, but he can pass. Not enough. He's not Colin Sexton. He's not holding the ball that much. I think I talked myself into this pick. I like him right there. They don't have anyone with star potential. Take some star potential. Take some bust. Have a risk. Take a risk, Detroit. At number 8, Charlotte is interesting. I think the ideal player with them has to be James Wiseman because you have 4 guys who you feel like can be starters, who can be quality starters in the NBA. They'd also like a point guard to get Rozier out of there, but there's no point guard on the board right now I think you can take. There's no center I think you can take, and I don't think you want to reach. One thing they're building is potential. Malik on, he's a good player. You can't reach for him right there. He's also not the best point guard coming off the board. This is a pick I like that you make right here. Alexei Pokusevski. I think he's the steal of the draft. He's the best passing big man in this draft. He probably is the best shooter in this draft. When he enters the league, he's going to be a top 5 passer, top 5 shooter for people over 7 feet for centers. Okay? He's skinny though. Alright? Very skinny. 7 feet tall, 7'3" wingspan, 200 pounds, soaking wet. It's not ideal. It's not. But you have to bank that he's going to be able to put on some muscle in the NBA, that he's going to put on some weight. He can deter at the rim right now, just with his wingspan alone. He can get back down. Offensively, he's a facilitator. He's a secondary facilitator, a secondary scorer. I think he's the perfect glue guy. I think he's going to have a really nice career in the NBA. You do have to buy him out. He's on contract for Olympiacos. He's on contract. If he goes at this point, in the lottery, it's about $1.5 million, reportedly. So you gotta pay that, but I think it's worth it. Or you can leave him in Europe. I'd pay that money and take him right there, because I like this kid a lot. Obi Toppin to Washington. I really like this fit, because I'm banking on John Wall coming back. We have your lead scorer, Bradley Beal, and then you have these 2 guys who can run the court in Wall and Toppin. I think Toppin can play. He's a great above the rim. In the half-court set, he's a really good shooter in college. He showed. I think he shot 41% from 3, which is pretty astounding. He's not a great defender. the three of those guys wouldn't be good defenders. Sean Wall, he's okay. Beal, he's okay. Toppin, his ceiling is probably okay. So we'll see how that goes. But I like the fit offensively, and I think he'd be a good player for Washington's sake. At 10, this is another pick that I've kind of dialed in my mind. There's a couple picks that make almost every mock draft right now. Obi Toppin to Washington's one. Well, that's the only one we really hit right now. Tyrese Halliburton goes to the Bulls a lot in my mock drafts. Anthony Edwards to Minnesota a lot. Oh, ignore Mason Rudolph. Yeah, so this is a pick I like a lot for the Suns. You're taking this guy and you're going to let him sit behind Rubio for at least this year. But he's going to be the future point guard. You're going to give playmaking responsibilities to Booker. He's got to become the lead playmaker by the time this guy takes over. I'm talking about, if I can find it, Tyrell Terry out of Stanford, freshman out of Stanford. He's one of the best shooters in this draft, not the best. He has the potential to be. He's just like Booker, except he's got a little bit more coming into college. He's just like Booker. He's shorter, and there's a little bit more creating your own shot ability coming in. He could be an offensive dynamo. I see a lot of Seth Curry. I like that comparison. I think he can be better though. T.E. Where was Terry? I saw it. Tyrell Terry out of Stanford. 6'2", short guard. He hustles on defense. He can get bullied on. He's going to give you it all. But I think he's a good player for them right there. Get your lead guard next to Booker. Let him sit behind Rubio this year. And I like that lineup going forward. Terry, Booker, Aubrey Jr., Saric, and Ayton. That's pretty nice. At 11, this is another pick I've been dialing into. Let's go in. Let's see if he's there. Because if not, I'm going to be scrolling for a while. Of course he's not there. It'll be too inconvenient. We're going to my boy Devin Vassell. There he is, Devin Vassell is top 2 defender in this class, top 5 shooter in this class, wing player, good size, good length. He's an immediate impact. I think he can start over Bryn Forbes right now. I like the fit a lot. I think he's a good Popovich player. I think he's the next Danny Green. With the 12th pick, this is where I'd most like to see my boy Alexei Pokusevsky, because I think he'd fit really well at that spot, replacing Bjelica. But he's not there. So what are they going to do? Take your small ball four of the future, Isaac Okoro. Okay? I think he is the best perimeter defender in this class. And something a lot of people are good at in this class is playmaking. And he's one of those guys. That's his best offensive skill. He can finish around the rim with contact. He's a good playmaker. And he's not one of those guys, he didn't shoot well in college, but I think he can transition to be a good shooter. Not a great shooter. He's never going to be J.J. Redick. He's never going to be Buddy Hield, but he can get his three-point shot up. He can make plays for you. He can help his teammates out, both on offense and defense. I like this fit here. I don't know if he can start right away. Maybe you move Barnes up, and then you run him at the 3. That's probably what I would do. I like the fit there. At 13, we go to the sophomores. I'm going to take the best three-point shooter in this class, Aaron Nesmith, okay? Dude shot 52% from 3. 52%. Unheard of. You look at his box scores, you'll see 7 threes made in this game, 6 in this one, maybe 8 in that one. He was going off, okay? He injured himself. I believe it was a right calf fracture, I want to say. But I like the fit. He did show that maybe he can be a playmaker moving on. He has the body that looks like he can play some defense. Right now, he's coming into the NBA. He's a pure three-point shooter. And I like this fit because look at all these playmakers on this team. Ball, Holiday, Ingram, and Williamson. He does not have to do anything but sit in the corner and shoot on this team. Run him off screens, have him with Redick. If you have both those guys on the floor, that's kind of scary. That'd be hard for a defense to guard, especially when you have to watch that pick and pop with someone like Zion, pick and roll with someone like Zion Williamson. Come on now. It's a no-brainer. Finally, Portland. I really like the idea of Portland taking a point guard here, or at least someone who can facilitate the ball. And that's because they ranked, I want to say they were dead last in assists when Lillard and McCollum weren't on the floor, which hopefully they can stagger them a bit, but a lot of times they aren't. And none of these guys, not even Simons or Trent, really are made for facilitate. I can see him reaching for man in here. I think he's a pure offense type guy. He doesn't have a lot of defensive potential. Or they can just take another guy like Josh Green, but you already have Nasir Little in the future, Roddy Hood in the future and present, and Trevor Ariza in the present. You don't really need 3 and D. All your small forwards are somewhat capable of that. Maybe go. Let's look at these guards. And I'm doing this live. I like RJ Hampton. I think he's a better passer than Tyrese Maxey, but he's a lot more raw. He's not a great shooter right now. He can be a good defender at times. He's explosive. We're going to take RJ Hampton here, and we're going to end this video. But yeah, just sum up the lottery. You guys can see it right there. This is how it went. Let me know what you guys think. I'll be putting these videos up pretty shortly. Thank you for watching, and be sure to leave a like, drop a subscribe, tell me what you think in the comments. Thank you for watching Mock Draft version 1.